الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله رب العالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وما بعد. Praise be to Allah, the Lord, guardian, cherisher, and sustainer of all the worlds. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, one and alone, and no partners has He. And I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad is His servant and His messenger. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. And we include by reference what traditionally follows of the most excellent salutations to Muhammad, upon whom be peace. With Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Praise be to Allah, the Lord, guardian, cherisher, sustainer of all the worlds, of all the systems of knowledge. Merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer, master of the day of judgment. Dear believers, dear respected leaders, one and all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is Al-Hadi, the guide. This is a reminder to myself and myself. We do not always aim to give new information in the Jumuah. The Quran says remind the believers, for reminding benefits the believers. So if the Jumuah is a reminder, don't be disappointed. That's what it's supposed to be. Allah is Al-Hadi, He is the guide. And Allah uses words to make people. Allah uses words to guide people and to make people. This is the month of Ramadan. And people continue to explain Ramadan in terms of fasting. But the Quran does not lead off with fasting in the explanation of Ramadan. The Quran leads off with the fact that Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was sent down, comma, therefore, then it gets into fasting. So Ramadan, as much as we emphasize fasting, Ramadan is Quran Appreciation Month. the first time that the Quran and the word guide are used together in the Quran is Surah 2, Ayah 185, and it's the one I just referenced. And the translation says, Ramadan is the month in which was sent down the Quran as a guide to mankind. Also clear signs for guidance and judgment between right and wrong. So, every one of you who is present at his home during that month should spend it in fasting, etc., etc., etc. The second time that the Quran mentions the word Quran and guide together, Surah 17, Ayah 9, Allah says, verily this Quran doth guide to that which is most right or stable. And the word for most right or stable is aqwam. Not akram with an R. Aqwam with a wow, a W. So, kaum, qiyam, these things that mean upright and stable, as in mustaqim, the straight way that we ask to be shown. The Quran guides to the ultimate of that, to that which is aqwa. We ask to be shown the sirat al-mustaqim. The Quran guides to that which is aqwa. The a in front means the most. Like kabir is big and akbar is biggest. Huh? So qiyam is upright, mustaqim is straight, but aqwam is the straightest, the most upright. So the Quran is the guidance, and words make people. And the most repeated words in the Quran are Surah Al-Fatiha. So don't think that Surah Al-Fatiha doesn't make us and shape us and guide us. It gives us, when we give ourselves sincerely to what it is saying and say what it says to say 17 times a day at minimum, in all of the Farad prayers, it shapes our thinking. We should not be people who are not sure what we are seeking, because it says in Al-Fatiha what we seek. Iyaka nasta'in. Thine aid we seek. 17 times a day. The human being is declaring what he's seeking. What people are seeking defines what they're about. Not everybody's seeking Allah's help. But people spend more time seeking than we actually conscious of the fact that we're spending some time seeking. We go seeking sometimes automatically. Some of us been running around town seeking something that we should have been seeking. When a person gives themselves to cigarettes, pretty soon their having given themselves to cigarettes is going to put them out on a mission seeking some cigarettes. I hope that makes sense. According to the Quran, there's a lot of things that people seek. Just doing a search with what the more commonly used translator, Yusuf Ali, says as using seek, it gives us, might be 15, 20 types of things that the Quran says people seek. Alphabetically, the first one is aid or help from Allah. That's in Al-Fatiha. Thine aid we seek. And the Quran talks about people seeking bounty or livelihood or sustenance from Allah. And the Quran talks about people seeking causes of dispute in the book. There's people who they're just seeking causes for dispute. Because that's what they're about, that is what they're frequently into. The Quran says there are people who seek evil ways. There are people who seek the face or countenance of Allah. Many verses mention how people seek forgiveness of Allah. And that's something we should especially do during the month of Ramadan. But the Quran says that there are people who seek glory and power. There are people who seek grace from Allah and His good pleasure. There's people who seek guidance, and there's people who seek the home of the hereafter. But then the Quran asks the question, is it honor among men that they seek? People are seeking something, moved by something, motivated by something, about something, after something, going after something. The Quran says that there are some who seek a middle course. The Quran says there are some who seek other than the religion of Allah. There are some who seek the pomp and glitter of this life. But Allah makes us say, thine aid we seek. The Quran says that there's people who seek the protection or refuge with Allah. When we say, A'udhu, I seek protection or I seek refuge, shelter, safety. The Quran says that there are people who seek something crooked. So there's some people asking to be shown the straight way, and at the same time on the same planet there's people seeking something crooked. In one passage, Allah even says that there are some people who seek to make Allah's path crooked. Allah challenged Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "You seek to please thy consorts." I mean, some people would want to please their spouse. The Quran says that there are people who seek to seduce somebody. We remember in Surah Yusuf, the character Zuleika, the wife of the Aziz, confessed that she sought to seduce him from his true self. And then Allah asks the question, do they not seek to understand the Quran? So there is a lot of seeking that the human being can be about, but when we seek Allah's aid, that directs us. That in itself shapes us. For example, in our livelihood, if we sincerely seek Allah's aid, Allah's help, that steers us away from haram business right there. Because we know Allah's aid ain't going to be in that. If I want to go into haram business, trying to be successful, I'm going to have to do that all by myself. Allah is not dispatching any angels to help me in that. If I want to be successful in something and get Allah's aid, I need to go into the cause of Allah, where He dispatches 2,000 angels, 3,000 angels, 5,000 angels, just whatever. That's where the help is. Because angels are real. It's a blessing to have them on your side. And it's easy to run them away. Because if you haram, they don't want to hang with you. Because they know better. So to seek Allah's aid, I mean, you've got to go straight. You got to want to go straight because they go together. Allah's aid and the straight path go together, And the misguidance from shaitan and the crooked path go together. So the Quran is a guide. And the most repeated verses in the Quran are Al-Fatiha. And after we say, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, these we worship at 9 a.m. We say, Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Ihdina, show us, is a frequent translation, but it's also guide us. The HD is in there, Ihdina, and Allah is Al-Hadi, the guide. The HD for guide is right there in Ihdina, guide us. So, the seeking of Allah's aid and the desire to go straight, they go together. But mustaqim is not accidentally straight. Mustaqim is not forced into straightness. If you have a broken arm and people put a splint on it and they just make it go straight, that's not really mustaqim. Mustaqim means that inside it, it has the tendency in itself towards straightness more than anything else. The ista form of things is a seeking or a tendency. What do you mean? Well, first of all, the straight isn't so much this kind of a straight, it's more of this kind of straight. Mustaqim has more of the qiyam, uprightness in it than the linear type of straight. So it's a straight up, straight up, straight uprightness. I don't know if they still have these things, but when I was a little boy, there was a gyroscope. I don't know if they still have these around because I don't go through the toy section. But this gyroscope thing fascinated me as a little boy. You know, you just see it around and it may be lying on its side. But you pull the string or crank it up or whatever, and it has a tendency by itself, in its nature, the way it's made, it goes straight up. And if it's doing its thing and you try to push it over, it go over, it take a little push, but then it straighten back up by itself. That's the nature. It tends to be straight up. Okay? So mustaqim is like the gyroscope nature inside the human being. You're not tending to go crooked. You're tending to be straight up. That's the way to be. Now that's a real sirat. That's a path. That's a path in life to actually be straight up by tendency and orientation. Missiles tend to be straight up. And isn't it interesting that missile and mission look like they're related? There's no such thing as a missile manufacturer unless you've seen it on a mission. And I haven't seen a curved one yet. Okay? They're straight and symmetrical in their nature. Each and every one I've ever seen. So that should be us. That's the kind of path in life we want to be on. We want to be upright people. We don't want to be upright just because we got caught in a situation where we couldn't go crooked. We want to be upright because that's our tendency. The Quran will make us that way. Keep taking the meds. The Quran brings the guidance and the words, the truth that will hit falsehood in its brain and knock its brain out. And then after we say Iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, we say Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. the path of those on whom you, in the past tense, put grace on them. We don't even ask for something that has never been before. We ask knowing that there is something good that's already been demonstrated and established, and that's what we want. Muslims, practicing Muslims, Quran-formed Muslims are not trendy-windy. Trendy-windy just wants the latest thing. Trendy-windy believe everything in the past is inferior to whatever's next. Trendy-windy does not understand that Allah is the Lord of all the worlds. And just because the latest discoveries in the physical world are improvements of the previous version, that doesn't mean that the latest thing in all the worlds is the greatest. They may, in physical science, biology, chemistry, physics, technology, etc., come up with a calculator that's better than counting on your fingers. They may come up in the laboratory with a cooking surface that coats a pan better than ever before. They may come up with a rope that is stronger than rope. They may come up with something from, but it's all in the physical world. People are not saying that outside of the physical world that the quality of life is better than it used to be. When they say the quality of life is better than it used to be, they're talking about air conditioning, which is in the physical world some mechanical discovery. They're talking about polio vaccine, which is in the physical world some laboratory discoveries. They're talking about motorized transportation compared to horses and mules, which is again in the physical world. But nobody is saying that the latest generation is the most righteous ever. Because that's another world. The world of real human life, which Allah is Lord of. We are not trendy windies looking for the latest philosophy of life so that we can be practices of that which is most modern. No, we want the way that has been proven to work, where Allah has bestowed His grace on people before. And we want to get with that. Why do we want to get with that? If the most merciful benefactor can't give us a benefit, who can give us a benefit? That's what benefactor means. Benefactor is the one that can give real benefit. It's basically the same word. When you want to go straight, how do you make serious efforts to go straight? What the craftsmen do when they want to cut some wood and they want to make sure that the cut is straight. What's the artist do when he wants to draw a line and make sure that the line is straight? You know, there are some things where it just to the eye, to the physical eye, a straight line is just better than a wobbly line. If this window was framed all wobbly and warpedly, it would look like it needed to be redone. So what do they do in elementary school when they want to teach a kid how to make a straight line? What do they have them reach in their backpack and get? What? Ruler. Ooh. If the ruler doesn't help you go straight, it's not a good ruler. For us, Allah is the ruler by which we seek guidance and reference so that we can go straight. Religion, L-I-G, religion, and alignment, L-I-G. Imam Muhammad said religion means realignment. Don't underestimate the extent to which this perfected, chosen religion is about alignment and realignment. We are not just people who say Al-Fatiha 17 times a day. We the people that line up. For real. We the people that line up. These carpets aren't here at this angle by accident. This is an intentional move with an intent to line up. The people who lead the prayer say, look to your lines to make your lines straight. That's not an accident. This is not just belief. This is belief and lining up. And it's not just short-term, short vision lining up. This is long-term lining up. We want to be shown a straight way that goes back further than people even think in terms of going back. We're lining up with a focal point. I don't know how many thousands of miles away it is. We're people aiming today, after the khutbah, to line up with an intent to be in line with a spot on the other side of the globe. And we're serious about lining up. And it's not because we got to teach that there's a new thing over there. The Quran calls it the ancient house. Baytul Atiq. Baytul Atiq, not the latest thing, the ancient thing. We need to make our mind up to line up. Because that's the way it is. If I'm accidentally saying something that's striking somebody as new, well, then it strikes somebody as new. But it's really supposed to be a reminder. Heaven is organized. Read the surahs that talk about how the people in Jannah are arranged in ranks. This is not just a bunch of wild believing. This is about making the mind up to line up. This is how it is designed for us. Surah 22, ayah 29. Then let them complete the rites prescribed for them, perform their vows, and again circumambulate the ancient house. There is instruction in structure. In structure, there is instruction. This religion is structured. Buni al-Islam ala khams. Al-Islam is built on 5. It didn't say slap together. Al-Islam is built. It's structured. We face, in facing the Qibla, a structure. Right? Yes. Builders are people who seek to get the alignment right. When you finish a building and it's all kind of warped and off kilter, People think you're not a good builder. Abraham and Ismail raised the foundation of the house. There's foundation, but a foundation is not a house. You try getting the foundation of a house and you just sit on it. It's not a house. You got to take it up to another level. Abraham and Ishmael raised the foundation of the house. This lining up is the essence of religion. Those who don't make their mind up to line up will regret how they wind up. Surah 15 in the Quran, the translation. Ayah 1, Alif Lam Ra, these are the ayats of revelation of a Quran that makes things clear. Ayah 2, again and again will those who disbelieve wish that they had bowed to Allah's will in this life. The term is rubama, again and again. ربما يود الذين كفروا لو كانوا مسلمين. There'll be a wish I had have been a Muslim. Surah 15, Ayah 3, leave them alone to enjoy the good things of this life and to please themselves. Let false hope amuse them. Soon will knowledge undeceive them. May Allah bless us to be a community of Muslims upholding the banner of Al-Islam as it was upheld by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and by his companions radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Brothers and sisters, dear respected believers and leaders, one and all, this is about sabr. Sabr. Sabr is translated patience and perseverance. And it may not be thoroughly understood. We know it's not thoroughly understood in the non-Muslim community, and we hope that it is more thoroughly understood amongst the Muslims. In Al-Fatiha, as mentioned before, we say, Iyaka nasta'in, thine aid we seek. But then in the second surah, Allah tells us how to seek the help. We say we seek it, but then Allah tells us how to go about seeking it. Surah 2, Ayah 45, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Nay, seek Allah's help with sabr, with patient perseverance and prayer. It is indeed hard except to those who bring a loving spirit. And then in Surah 2, Ayah 153, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salah. It's the same instruction. O ye who believe, seek help with sabr, with patient perseverance and prayer. Inna Allah ma'as sabirin. Verily Allah is with those who practice the sabr. But What do we picture when somebody says something? Do we picture somebody inviting us to that which is best strategy, or do we picture somebody setting us up for the suffering? Brother, scoot forward. We can do this. It's Friday, it's Jumuah. Everybody's supposed to take a bath or a shower. You can get close to each other. It's okay, it won't hurt. Come on, come on, come on. Give the sister some breathing space. Brothers and sisters, sabr does not just mean sit. But we might think that that's what it means. Because in the Quran, Jacob, Yaqub, he was old. And his sons were off in Egypt. And there wasn't much he could do about it. And he resolved that sabr was the best course of action for him. Just wait it out. Sit and wait it out. And we might think that that's what people mean every time they say sabr. But it's not that way in the Quran. Sabr doesn't just mean sit. Sometimes sabr means go out and get. We don't wildly go get and forget to submit. We submit to our benefactor and get the benefit. Sabr sometimes is so opposite of just sitting and suffering. Surah 8, Surah Al-Anfal, the spoils of war, is about some serious fighting in Surah 8. A lot of things from Surah 8 about wartime. Try this in your mind. And obey Allah, Surah 8, Ayah 46. And obey Allah and His Messenger and fall into no disputes, lest ye lose heart and your power depart, and be patient and persevering, for Allah is with those who patiently persevere. But this is Surah 8, Ayah 65. O Messenger, rouse the believers to the fight. If there are 20 amongst you, patient and persevering, they will vanquish 200. If 100, they will vanquish 1,000 of the unbelievers. For these are people without understanding. Do you think that when Allah says, O Messenger, arouse the believers to the fight, if there are 20 amongst you patient and persevering, that patience and persevering is about sitting and suffering? Oh no. Oh no. It's about striving hard to the utmost, getting on it. Going after it, going after them. Strong. Unrelenting. Full force. Pouncing on with all 4 feet, as they used to say. And that's sabr too. So don't think that sabr is just taking a bunch of ants, sitting and suffering. Allah says, rouse the believers to the fight. And if you got some who are sabirin, Allah got angels for them. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, whatever. The help of Allah is with the sabirin. Sometimes you have to get up and get it. And that's sabr too. Don't forget it. We here in this community, in this structured, organized, community life setting, we set 3 milestone goals as a community for the year 2014. None of these 3 goals were sit and wait for it type goals. These were all get up and get it type goals. One for March, one for July, and one for early December. In other words, spring, summer, and fall. Early December is still the fall. We think December is winter, but it's still the fall. The March 2014 goal has come. We got up and we got after it and we got it. And that was to have a successful Muslims in Memphis month. And it required sabr. We didn't just wait for a successful month to come. We got up and we got on it. That's how we got it. And Allah blessed us. Then the second goal in this organized community life setting for 2014, for July, was to come out of Muslims in Memphis month in March and fund the halal food pantry from our donations, our sacrifices, our resources, our fundraising during Ramadan. The latest report I got, we had raised during the month of Ramadan $6,400 and something dollars. $6,400 something dollars. But the goal was $20,000. And Allah does that. It's not even the night of power, the second night of power that we picked. You know, some people picked the 27th night, which was last night, and also picked Saturday night. I think we started NADCOM on the night of power. Raised a good amount of money. I don't know how we did it, because I don't know how Allah does what He does. It's over my head. Okay? But we had people for the first 20 months of the Halal Food Pantry write us checks like I'm not used to seeing people write $15,000 last Ramadan to help us to get to this Ramadan, with the idea that they were not going to carry us forever, but that we were going to become self-sustaining from our own fundraising efforts. So those of you all who are on my email list, while you are on your way to Jumuah, I already emailed out to you the Halal Food Pantry's first newsletter. And it basically tells the story of what we are doing, what we've been doing, how we have been supported, but now we hit this second milestone. We need to get up and get it. Take some sabr. We're asking people to donate $1,000. Most of the people that I roll with just don't write a check for $1,000 without thinking about it. It takes some thinking. It takes some gut check. It takes some rearranging. It takes some planning. It takes some, for some people, I might have to sacrifice a few lobsters to pull this off. Right? And make a commitment to make it come out right. Doesn't mean we don't appreciate the $500 and $20 because it all adds up. But this food pantry has gotten to where it runs more than $2,000 a month just to buy groceries and stuff. So two people's $1,000 donation just extends the life a month. And then the third goal is we intentionally set three major milestone goals for 2014. The fall, the summer, the spring, the summer, and the fall. The spring was Muslims in Memphis month. To get after it, get it done successfully. The summer was July to fund the Halal Food Pantry, and then the fall was in early December to have a successful, a time to be grateful event in support of the Muslim journey. None of this happens by sitting and waiting for it to happen. It all takes getting up and getting after it. And this commitment for December, brothers and sisters, it's a sobering commitment. When you really think about it, you really, really think about it. When we raise our hand collectively after consultation as a community and said, we want to support the Muslim Journal as the host for 2014, for a time to be grateful. You know, time for not even taking a Muslim Journal is out. The two vibes don't match. We're going to host the Muslim Journal national event in December, but in every week we don't take a paper. What? How are we going to pull off this big thing? And what's a Muslim Journal cost nowadays? $1.75? That's too big for us. Come on. We're going to host a national event and $1.75 paper too big for us. Dr. Nuruddin, and many of y'all know, has launched a national challenge for each section of the country to sell so many prescriptions. I forget the exact numbers. Probably should have refreshed my mind on it. But it's already been divided in equal shares for the Northeast and the West and the Mid-Atlantic and the Southwest and the Midwest and the South. How are we going to host the Muslim Journal, A Time to Be Grateful, in December and come in 7th in the subscription drive as a section? That ain't going to get it. It's not going to get it. Huh? When we're down there at the Cook Convention Center and it's that night, the South's got to be represented well as a host location, so to speak. But then again, Memphis has to be represented well. Huh? Which just was hitting me the other day. Man, this commitment requires some remaking of stuff. This is serious. This is serious. So we've turned the corner from March and we're now in July, and we're also planning our work for December. Let us make our mind up the lineup. I won't even intend to call anybody a hypocrite. But this is about the closest as we get to a situation like what we read about all the time, about the community supposed to be a community, but there be people sitting up in the community as if they were really with it, but they ain't really with it. Okay? So this July commitment and this December commitment is a chance for a person to be tested if they're really, really with it. Because lip service don't get it done. Lip service doesn't put the money in the bank to buy the groceries with to feed the poor people. And lip service doesn't sell tables and tickets for the December event, and it doesn't sell subscriptions. You've been reading in the Quran about people who make their excuses. Huh? I want to stay home. You all go fight. No. No, this is make your mind up to line. Line up with the obligations of the local commitment to an organized community life. That's the funding the pantry. And line up with the obligation of a national commitment to support the Muslim Journal by rising to the top in the subscription drive and selling tickets and tables. I've been given some announcements to share. As we know, Eid is coming up. We won't know until the Sunday night moon sighting if the Eid will be Monday or if the Eid will be Tuesday. The sky watcher people tell us it is more likely that it will be on Tuesday, but don't bank on that. And we still do the moon sighting on Sunday night. We're reminded to inform all committed believers to pledge to donate $1,000, $8,000 commitment, to Halal Food Pantry at Masjid al-Mu'minun before the end of the month of Ramadan. There are only a few more days left. Submit your pledge to the Treasury office today. And yes, there are some people who can make their intention during Ramadan, even if they can't deliver all that they intend during the month of Ramadan. So Allah knows our intention. The Halal Food Pantry and Clothes Closet is tomorrow, July 26th, from noon until 3 p.m. Contact Sister Brenda, Sharif, Halima, Muhammad, or Lynette Beya if you wish to volunteer. The Sisters of Masjid al-Mu'minun Book Club is every Friday at 7 p.m. throughout the month of Ramadan. We have some special sponsors for the community iftar tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight, Sister Seema Abbasi and the International League of Muslim Women Memphis chapter are working together to sponsor the iftar tonight, and the Zakat Foundation of America is sponsoring Saturday night. Here at Masjid al-Mu'minun, we're open nightly for Maghrib, Isha, and Tarawih prayers. The Sadaqatul Fitr is $10 per person in your household. Please submit that to the Treasurer's office by tomorrow, which will allow time to get these funds distributed so all recipients can enjoy the Eid. And there's an Eid fee to cover the cost of festivities, which is $20 for single and $35 per family. So please also submit that to the Treasurer's office. So, for instance, you and a wife, $10 for the side, $20. And family share of the Eid fee, expenses $35, makes $55. Feels good to write the check. Trust me, it does. Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, will be observed tomorrow night, July 26th, here at the Masjid. And Eid al-Fitr will either be Monday through Wednesday, or it'll be Tuesday through Thursday, depending on the sighting of the moon. In either case, the Eid prayer on Eid day will be here at 9 a.m. and the Khatib is Imam Kareem Salam. Refreshments will be served in the dining area following prayer. Again, don't forget to pay your Eid fees. We have Sunday Talim at 1:15, day after tomorrow, with Imam Kareem Salam. And we already mentioned December 12th through 14th is the weekend of the Muslim Journal of Time to Be Grateful Awards. The Al-Ma'un Committee always encourages acts of neighborly needs and charity and asks everyone to make dua for our pioneers, the sick, and anyone in need of service. Please make special dua for Von Tavis Holmes, Brother Isaac Kareem, and Brother Ernest Richardson. Brother Ernest is back at home. Please allow your schedule to make time to stop by to visit him. We're reminded to keep all believers in our daily du'as, and we have contact information which is posted on the board for the Al-Ma'un Committee. It's not too late to donate to Sister Tayyiba Taylor's treatment. Our sister is in need of help. Donations go to Post Office Box 322, Atlanta, Georgia 30079, where you can see Sister Rosie Muhammad in the Treasurer's office, where we also have books, CDs, and DVD tapes. And remember to support our vendors, to donate Zakat, Muslim Journal, Halal Food Pantry, the support of Muslims in Memphis, and our renovation program. We have announcements on the Eid Family Day, which will be at Golf and Games Park, 5484 Summer Avenue. And it just depends on, well, I think that's set on Wednesday. That is set to be on Wednesday, no matter which way the Eid goes. And we have a schedule of the days of activities for Eid. May Allah bless us to be a community of Muslims upholding the banner about Islam as it was upheld by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and by his companions, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. Amen.
Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.